I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into...
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
Stuff like that?
yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever... Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
The following
is a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network.
Production.
What? We're back. Yeah. It all started down as a wrinkle in his brain when Nate hit. The Brando got him to pause the game, setting out on a journey podcast into the masses. Formed a pod family, kicking audio asses. Now the Walking Dead is dead and the end game was won. But the war it isn't over because the battle's just begun. The boys are back in action, can't you see? Nate and Brando lay it down, the OGs of JIC.
What's up, Deuterinos, and welcome back to another episode of the OGs. We are coming at you sort of live through the power of the Journey into Comics Network. I'm one of your OGs, Brando, and joining me is the other OG of JIC, Nate. How's it going, bud?
What? How's it going, brother?
It's going pretty good, my man. It's a good day here as well. This is episode 6, right?
Yeah, is that crazy?
Yeah, I can't believe we made it to episode 6. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like we've done this a time or 10.
Man, I remember when we were doing episode 3. I mean, it was just like yesterday.
Almost figuratively, literally.
No, dude, no. It's been good. Things are going okay over here. We are literally starting to get to the point of baby time where she had an issue with some blood pressure this week.
Ooh.
And thankfully, it doesn't seem like it's preeclampsia. However, they still have to do the full-on urine analysis. Do you know they have to collect urine for 24 hours?
What?
There's a jug, and she's got to fill a jug up.
Over the course of 24 hours.
She has to collect all of her pee for 24 hours. So even if she fills the jug up, she has, thankfully, I guess this time, for the first time she tried to do it, she filled the jug up, and it wasn't a full 24-hour course, so she had to go do it again, and they gave her 2 jugs.
Oh, my God.
So this time she preemptively got 2 jugs. So she, and apparently they would like it if you stored it in the fridge. Because apparently the first time she didn't, so it just sat there in the bathroom.
Oh. Permeating.
And so, yeah, no, she's had we had to make fridge space for her pee jug. It is what it is. When you're pregnant, things just like this happen, I guess. And the unfortunate circumstance is that we may be seeing baby a little sooner than what we think. Hopefully that will not mean much for us, because I've said 8 episodes for this year for OGs, and after baby's born, because that leads right up to his due date pretty much. And then I'm not guaranteeing anything else until after the new year when we're all settled. I've said that many times again, but I'm saying it for anybody who's never listened to this show before and tuning in for the very first time. I'm having another baby, and we got a wacky, crazy 4-year-old that hits panic buttons at the health center where they have their drugs and gets the cops called on. Like, yeah.
I would have freaked out.
Oh my gosh. He has this really bad habit of just being like, what's this button do? No matter how many times. Don't just touch stuff. Hands to yourself. You look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Spray bottle, bro.
Poke, 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 poke. So anyway, yeah, baby could be here before we know it. I think this is week 35, so if it's any time past 37 and they decide to take him out, it's time.
Wow.
Yeah, I know why it was 39. It was literally the day. It was her 39-week checkup. And the last time she battled high blood pressure from like week 16, and they put her on meds. So this whole thing that she's going through with the whole high blood pressure plaque, maybe they're worried about preeclampsia. She didn't have preeclampsia last time. It was just high blood pressure, and that's what I'm thinking it is again. But this time it didn't hit until 35 weeks, which is it's good because we're in the home stretch.
Yeah.
And it's not like I remember because we were on second shift then, right? And so much different lifestyle. Going to bed at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning every day, waking up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and going to work at 4:30. That was my life. Well, towards the end of her pregnancy, she stopped having her appointments in the late afternoon because she would get up at 4 to 6. Sometimes she wouldn't get up till 6:30 in the evening.
Damn.
That was, and she'd be up all night with me. So
yeah, totally.
Like that was just it. Like I would wake up and she wouldn't. Sometimes she would wake up early, but she quit going to the late afternoon appointments and scheduled them for like as the first thing at like 8 or 9. So that way she could just stay up, go to that, get something to eat, come home, go to bed a little later, and then just sleep until I text her at 6:30.
Chilling, yeah.
Yeah. So she did not sleep all night, right? And she went, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just going to induce you today. Be at the hospital at like 11:30."
Whoa.
Yeah. So she came home and got me. She woke me up. Of course, this is like 10, going on 10:30 almost. It's like 10 something, and I've been asleep for like just about 2 hours. And she's like, "Hey, get up. Come on, babe. We got to go have the baby." What?
You were like, wide awake now.
She's like, no. Calm down. I'm getting induced. We got to be there at 11:30. Okay. All right.
Could have broke it to me a little different.
Anyway, so no, he wasn't born until about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. She'd probably hit me if she heard me say that. I always get confused about 2 or 3 because and it's funny how she remembers because she had less sleep than I did. But think about that. She was up for like 24 and then going on 30-something hours.
Ooh.
And then gave birth with no meds.
Jesus, that's some insanity.
I remember we went to bed. Man, it was like almost 6:30 in the morning. That the following day, because he got stuck in the birth canal and his cord was wrapped over his shoulder, and it was tied to knot. He needed to get attention right away, and so they pretty much took him and put him in the NICU, and they gave him what's called a bolus, and it's like basically when they put like an IV in a baby, they put it in their skull, in their head.
Yeah,
because that's where the veins are the most prominent. And then they gave him some fluids and whatnot and get him going. Basically a bolus is just a kickstart. That's usually what they get from the placenta after they're born. The placenta's like, live, everything you need, and it's like, whoa, and they just like pumps. It's like an alien that pumps their life force through this little cord, and that's why they usually end up kind of delaying the cut. They let that kind of flow in, get more, get more of the juices flowing, and then they go. But that's not the way it was. So I got to go see him pretty much within a half hour of him being in there. They wanted her to chill out because her body had just done something extraordinary, and obviously put a lot of stress. Yeah. And by the time, I think it was like 5:30 when we actually got. So it was almost like 2 hours by the time we actually got to mother baby unit to our room. And then they said, hey, you can just walk over there and see him and feed him, because we were like right next to the NICU. And we went over there and got to that was when we actually got to like hold him and see him and stuff, and try to do the first feed or whatever. So that was like, I remember Nick at Night was still on TV, and it was like George Lopez. Weird. The weirdest thing that you remember. But then I went to, then we went to bed about between 6:30, and then it was time for another feeding at like 8.
No rest for the wicked, bro.
Oh man, no, it was a rough couple days. But how are things going over in your neck of the woods? I've kind of dominated the first sort of 10 minutes here.
It's okay.
Reminiscing about babies.
Bro,
so
I'm refreshed as shit right now.
You are?
I mean, well, okay, I guess refreshed is relative. I'm 90% refreshed. I was super fucking refreshed last week when I came back because I was on vacation and I had an amazing time. Denver, Colorado treated us interestingly. Like
Interestingly, okay, I like that.
We can get into that a little bit if you feel like it. But yeah, man, I was feeling really, really, really good. And then this past Friday, we had to do a trip to Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is a 4-hour drive one way, 4-hour drive home. Did that all in a day. So my body is still a little bit like, bro, what the fuck? Why did we do that? Why did we put ourselves through that shit, man? And I'm like, it's all for music, bro. It's what's up. But no, man, went to the mountains, had a blast in Colorado. There was a tornado warning the second day we were there. Like, you probably never heard of a tornado happening in Colorado, but sure fucking enough, we went there and they were like, hey, motherfuckers, you know those things you're not cool with? They're here too. Enjoy.
A snow-nado?
Oh, no. I mean, luckily there was no snow.
Yeah.
And that was another thing, though. We got to see, like, beautiful storms rolling over the mountains. I talked about that a little bit on Voice Survival. But what I didn't really, like, super dive into on that episode is how much fucking weed I smoked. Oh, my God, dude. Like, okay, so there are 3 of us. We smoked 2 ounces in 5 days. And it was not necessarily because like we were just chasing the dragon or some weird shit or just like, oh my God, get as fucking high as you can. But it was like more like we would go into a place and they'd be like, here's this deal. It's a reasonable deal. Cool. Fucking A. Okay. This deal is amazing. It's cheaper than anything we have ever purchased at home. And it's quality stuff. All right, cool. And then we would go to another place, and they'd be like, hey, we've got even better deals. You can't even believe it. Here's this deal. You buy this one thing, you get this other thing free. Oh, shit, yeah, man. So we did that for like 2 or 3 different dispensaries, and you kind of end up with a lot of different shit. And a lot of it ended up being, like nothing. And you're just like, okay. Well, here's the deal. We're on vacation. The clock is ticking. There are only so many days. There's only so many hours in the day. Let's get going. And it was a blast, man. It was a wild ride to be out in Denver and just like take that in. It recharged my energy. I feel real good, man. Like really locked in. You're probably hearing fucking dogs barking because I'm in the Casa de la Dad this week. Haven't seen him in over a month, so I figured I'd come down here and say hey and see how things are going. And, like I was recounting with you off air, they're kind of going just shitty but normal. I mean, just the flow of life, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. And I was reminiscing about this with someone today. I was talking about how some people, man, it's hard it seems like people are always chasing the next thing. They're always chasing the next happy. They're so laser focused on one thing, and they're all about that one thing. And then you're like, okay, cool. That's your thing. Just anybody. It could be anybody and anything.
Totally.
But then eventually it cycles, and then it's like they just seem unhappy, very unhappy, and you're not really sure what it is, and you're not sure if you could help them or not. But then it's like, now they're talking about this thing, and it's like this thing, and it's like a very, and you're just like, look, dude, I know that for me, I have to stop myself from thinking about the negative. And that's something that I think I've been very good at. I know I personally have had a history with I've never been like diagnosed, but I would say acute depression, because I would never say, there's only been a few times in my life where I feel like it really nailed me. And I was actually going to look into getting help. I never did. And it was always a sort of eventually I got myself out of it, or got out of that mindset, and everything leveled off. But also, it's also like a mental battle of trying to be like, look at what you have. Look at everything. Look at all these things around you. Look at everybody you have around you. And yes, thing A, thing B, thing C could be better. And you feel like you could be happier if you had those things, or if thing B was different, or your situation C had changed maybe a little bit. But at the end of the day, with the life that you're living, what is it that's actually making you feel that way? And it is altering all these other things. Is that going to make that better? Or is that simply altering the situation to make it feel like you're better? Whereas the core of the problem is still the problem.
Putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
Exactly. And, so for everybody listening, dude, please be thankful for what you have. Never stop fighting for the things that you want. And obviously, like for us, we need a bigger house. We're going to need a bigger house. It is vital. But it's also not the thing that's going to be a make or break of whether or not we are happy within our family.
Because your family life makes you happy first and foremost. You find joy from the people around you.
We have a roof over our heads. Maybe we could use an extra room. We need it. But I'm not going to put my kid back in a room like this room where it has a door to the outside. Not going to happen. I don't even want to put my room back here because I don't like that. I don't like having a room. I don't like that idea.
I have a solution for you. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Just build an additional room on the house instead of buying a new house. And then what you do is you just make that door that's behind you only go to that room. You don't have to have a door at all in that back area.
Okay, so here's the thing. For how much that would probably cost versus the cost of fixing, we have to fix stuff in our house currently.
Oh,
and we're probably going to have to get a new HVAC system to sell it because when we bought it, it was old, and that was 10 years ago almost. So
it's old.
Yes, it is old. So there's two big things that we need to fix. Other minute shit that we need to get fixed. So after baby's born, and after springtime, where we get pretty much not 100%, but a lot of it, eliminate like a lot of our expenditure debt. Hopefully, then we can start working on saving up enough money to fix this house. Because once we fix it, then we can sell it. Then we can get a bigger house. So we don't have the amount of land space that I want here either for having two kids.
Totally. You want a backyard for them to romp in.
Something, and it doesn't have to be a new house. It doesn't even have to be closer to Lafayette. It can be here in Frankfurt where I live. Where house prices are going to be a little cheaper anyway.
Totally.
Because in Lafayette's getting more expensive, and it's crazy. The same house here that in Lafayette would be we're talking $20,000 to $40,000 difference, probably. And Lafayette's booming, man, and it is. And a lot of people are moving down from the Chicago area into Lafayette. There's
Makes
a big
sense.
influx there, and that's a thing that's going along. That in other areas of the country as well, where many people in the bigger metropolitan areas are moving out because it's less. Even though for us Lafayette's more expensive, moving from Chicago area to Lafayette is a lot cheaper.
Oh fuck yeah, that's a discount.
Exactly.
Or literally, you can go from, a 1-bedroom studio apartment in a basement setting in Chicago, I know for a fact, is $1,400 a month. That's not a lie. That's real. That's what Sarah's sister was paying when she had her downstairs apartment. Of course, that was split between her and her roommate, so it was more like $700. But still, overall, that property was valued at that. And then you look at a home in Lafayette is probably $1,100 for a mortgage for a pretty nice house. Something like Rob and them have, or the Norrises have, a nicer house, is probably in that $1,100, $1,200 range. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge difference from going a tiny space to a mansion, essentially.
it also depends on like your down payment and your loan and your percentage and everything. You're all that kind of stuff. Because I mean, from what I understand, a home loan probably could be anywhere, like you said, probably 1,100, 1,200 would probably be on the higher end.
Yeah.
So like you could probably go as low as 8, which would be doubling my house payment. My house payment is $400.
Hell yeah, brother. Fuck yeah, spread it.
So like, yeah, well, as I said, dude, look at what you got. Do you have a good job? Do you have, like, we don't go without. We do not go without. Could we have a little bit more money in the bank? Yes. I think everybody could, right?
Totally.
So, I mean, man, you only live once, and if you're focusing so much, I feel like if you're so hyper focused on the things that you can improve, instead of focusing on living and focusing on being happy, and then also have that goal to shoot for.
Well, and I think it's one thing to have the goal to shoot for, like you're saying, as opposed to the people who are, I don't know how to word this properly, but like they're obsessed with finding happiness as opposed to reveling in happiness, and they future trip. They get lost in the what ifs of life. And it's like, sure, what if tomorrow I step outside my door and for whatever reason I just go stand in the middle of the road till I get smashed by a car? That's a weird fucking what if, man. Like, what are the actual probabilities? What does that actually do for yourself to think down these dark avenues? People, it's a part of society that the literally being obsessed with what negative things could happen to you, because there's so many crazy things out to get us in this world, allegedly.
Well, in last week I got to leave work early, after an hour of being at work. They're like, "Hey, man, you want to go home?" Bye.
Fuck yes.
Later on, dude.
Is this a trap?
Right? Yes. It's a trick.
It's a trap.
Anyway, so I was on my way home. The quickest way home is the interstate.
Sensible.
And, well, they are doing some road work past my exit. And it does cause some pretty quick slowdown when you get closer to that exit.
Sure.
Traffic slows down. So, yeah, it kind of snuck up on me. Oh, okay. Well, it also snuck up on somebody else. Within just an hour, not even, after I was there was a really bad accident.
Damn.
And at least one person was killed.
Jesus.
And it's just like, there it is. It's over, And thankfully, there hasn't been any more accidents since there. But, to the same token, I've kind of avoided taking that way home.
Just don't feel just the same.
Well, I just don't like. It's still, they're still doing that work, and it's slowing down pretty quick. And like literally the week before that, a semi truck had literally like completely just flipped over, like onto its side.
Whoa.
And it was blocking both lanes. And people were stuck there for hours.
Whoa, that's awful. I'm just thinking, because I have to go that way. We do have a show this. Well, actually, when this is airing, we're going to be going to Indianapolis. So that's like down your neck of the woods. Ugh.
Yeah. Do please be careful. I've given you a heads up. When you get past Laffey, coming up towards the Frankfurt exit, there's going to be some work going on. Be careful.
Will do. Absolutely.
Because you'll be going right along at 70 mile per hour, and right when you're getting like, like last time it hit me, I was at like the, exit mile and a half, and it was like whoomp, it hits very, 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 very fast as far as the stop traffic, because it's not enough to keep traffic from like going all the way back because they are moving. It's not stop traffic, but man. It's sudden, and please be careful, you guys. I don't want to hear that kind of news.
You will not be hearing that kind of news. I drive as safe as I humanly can, man. And I'm appreciative of the heads up with all that shit. But, like, traveling's crazy. And, like, to just speak on that briefly, we were coming back from that Green Bay show. This is the weirdest shit, dude. Driving on this road called 43, which essentially becomes 94. And I'm driving on it. And it says that there's a lane, and that lane is an exit only, okay? And all the cones are up, putting you in that lane. And I'm like, okay, I'm going in this lane. I'm going in this lane. They just made me exit off of the highway, and every single off-ramp or on-ramp was blocked for 25 miles. And there were no detour signs anywhere. Waze was not picking up that there were blockages. Google Maps was not picking up that there were blockages. Siri wasn't picking up their blockages. So essentially, we had to fucking wing it in the country. That was a blast. Like, oh great, we're just in the middle of fucking Wisconsin. Hope we don't get, myrtleized. And of course, everything was fine once we got back on that road. But, like, it was terrifying, dude, to know that that's, like, the main way you're getting home, and for them to just be like, no, you can't take that way. Just no.
A good app that I have found a while back, it's called INRIX. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
Yeah, so it's INRIX Traffic, INRIX Traffic. And I was using this, I've been using it for a couple of years. And it's pretty damn freaking accurate. I don't know if it would have helped for your situation, but it would not hurt just to download an extra app.
Totally.
Just in case, right?
Always good to have an extra app for your navigation. It's 2019. You don't need a map.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy
We
to
live
think
in crazy
that in 2011, this is for real. In 2011, I was using maps in Champaign to find locations for us to deliver furniture. Okay, I was still reading a map. I was pretty damn good at it too, giving out navigations to the map. You're going to take this road, take this road, take this road, turn here, do this, boom, we're there. So, yeah. And then now here we are only 8 years later, and someone would be like, a map? What the fuck is a map? I've got my phone. Google
Maps?
Yeah, exactly.
Apple Maps? Yeah.
Oh. It's weird how that all works anyways, but, dude, we've kind of had a nice little riffage here for a few minutes. We've got a couple different things planned for today's show that's hodgepodgey because we have a lot of ideas and we're almost done with this season. So we're just trying to get some of our concepts in before we quote unquote close shop, or at least hit the pause button, as it were, which is a fun little reference to the the episode 0 pilot episode that we did. But I really just kind of want to riff with you for a little bit. But when you're like, because I feel refreshed, reset, I feel like my head's clear, and I feel like I'm enjoying. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but I feel like after a while, just living life, if you don't have a change of scenery, a change of pace, or something that you can actually acclimate to for more than a minute, which, when you're doing shows, you're in a city for an hour or two and then you're fucking gone. It's not really like you're having a great time or whatever. So you lose and at least in my opinion, I kind of lost the ability to enjoy things. Like, I didn't feel like I really wanted to watch shows. I didn't feel like I really wanted to listen to music. Like, it was all just, it's that episode of South Park where all Stan hears is shit. It's all the music on the radio, and all he hears is, And it was weird because that's kind of how I felt too. And then, like I said, the vacation made me feel very refreshed. So I've been like going through and listening to stuff that's like real nostalgic. Some of the early albums I had, playing some of the games that like are my all-time favorite games and whatnot. So I thought today it'd be cool to kind of bounce stories and thoughts off each other about the things we love the most. You talked about being grateful for stuff and to appreciate what you have around you, well, that also includes the things you can comfort yourself with that are just in little things. Like even something as small as me saying, like, what's your favorite action figure, incites a thought, which is a response, which is, why is that, and what reason do I have to give for that? So I'm not really sure exactly. Okay, I guess I do know. Okay, just for shits and giggles, movies. Let's talk about your all-time favorite movie, the movie that over anything else you're putting on 1,000 to 1. Like, you have to. Like, what?
Man, it's so hard. It's so hard because, like, I definitely don't watch movies like I used to. That for me has changed dramatically. I need to be in modes, and that's really weird, and some people might not understand that. But I have watch mode. When I'm in the mood to watch a series, I need to sit down and watch the series, and it needs to be constant. If I get a chance to deviate, if something else happens, and I'm off the wagon, I will no longer feel like watching it. Not because I don't like it, but because now I'm just in the mood to do something else. I'm in the mood for something different. And so I bounce from watching to playing games. If I am on a game, if I am in a game, that's a lot of what I think about. And that's what I want to do until I'm done. So my favorite movie of all time, thinking about favorite movies, a lot of those probably still resonate from when I was a kid. I don't have too many movies from like the modern era that I would even put into that category because they're different. Even though I might like them, maybe they're awesome movies, terrific movies. Like you could pretty much put anything on from Christopher Nolan, and it's going to be a great movie.
Fuck yeah!
He's a great filmmaker. Tarantino, great filmmaker. I've got my favorites and least favorites, but you put a movie on from him, you're going to be entertained. So it's like, man, it's easy to look back in the nostalgia glasses. Batman '89, that's my most quotable movie.
Hell yeah.
I had the pleasure of seeing that in theaters last year. It was awesome. And then just this year, I got to go see Back to the Future in theaters.
Badass.
It was awesome. Like, if I had one nitpick, is that when we saw Batman, the sound was not up to par with the other movies showing in the theater, which was like Jurassic World.
Oh no!
Or something
And
like
you
that.
just heard all that over your movie.
Like, wah! Of course, Batman '89 has a lot of kind of quieter moments, right?
Yeah, nuanced moments.
And so, like, no, like when it was going and like the march. It was good, but it wasn't that big surround sound that we're used to with the modern movies. And of course, that's probably just a different sound direction entirely.
Totally.
Movies today are a lot louder, especially for theater going audiences. Back to the Future was louder, but still not as loud because the other movie playing next to us was still louder than that movie. It might have been Men in Black. I don't remember what movie it was, but those two movies are really big for me. Terminator 2 was always been a really big one, and I feel like that is probably one of the best action movies ever.
Agreed.
There's other great action movies, but man, that movie is just something else. It tells a great story. Even more so when you watch the extended cut. If you have the Blu-ray, that's even better because it's not like they're adding in the theatrical release. The theatrical release for that movie is great, and that's the one that I watched when I was a kid. Man, I'll never forget the local grocery store in Rankin. It was like a town of 600 people. We had a grocery store.
Totally.
And we used to have a movie rental store in Rankin.
I actually do not recall that.
No, because it was before you ever probably made it over there for any reason whatsoever. I remember my grandmother buying me All Dogs Go to Heaven from that store.
Wow.
I remember ordering it and from them. It was just one of those things where it was either right when they closed or after they closed. Then the grocery store got associated with a rental thing, and they started renting movies out. That really kept him in business for a long time, because you could rent a movie for the same, it was like if you rent it on a Friday, it didn't have to be back until Monday.
Nice.
So it was always like Fridays were like the go-to, man, especially for the new stuff. But I would always go in there. Of course, here I am, like a wee little lad, trying to find movies, and I see like Arnold Schwarzenegger looking like a badass on a motorcycle, and of course it's like rated R, and my mom's like, I guess. I must have rented that movie so many times.
Hell yeah.
I also remember they had WrestleMania 8.
Awesome.
So that was like the first WrestleMania I ever watched, was WrestleMania 8 with the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. We'll get into that later, too. A little bit of
man, there's a lot of favorite movies. I finally got her to watch a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Sweet.
Just a little while ago. It took me forever to get her to watch Arnold.
Okay.
Like, I think I had to start her off with Kindergarten Cop.
Awesome
before she would
movie.
even. Oh, I love that movie.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Who's your daddy and what does he do? My dad's a gynecologist, and he stares at vaginas all day long.
Jesus.
But the movie we watched was Demolition Man.
Nice.
Better to watch that. And totally forgot Jesse Ventura was in that movie.
Snipes, too, right?
Yeah, Snipes is the main villain.
Yeah.
But Jesse Ventura makes an appearance at the end as one of the other guys that he unfreezes.
That's right.
But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that. I want to get her to watch the Rockies, but I can't. I don't know. That's probably she thinks that's stupid.
Dude, I would start with Creed and then make everything like a prequel, because Creed is so fucking good, dude. Oh my god.
She's just very. Thankfully, as she's getting older, I think she's caring less. But like, man, you have no idea. I'm like, well, you need to watch Terminator. You need to watch the Terminator with me. And she's like, no, he's stupid. Like, no, you idiot. It's great. Come on, sit down. We're going to sit down. We're going to make the popcorn. We're going to drink the Cokes. We're going to sit here. We're going to cuddle a little bit. Go to Netflix and the chills. And then you never know what's going to happen. Come with me if you want to live.
Going over the pants handy.
Come on, grab my hand. Yeah, come on. What are you doing? What was funny is that just recently we watched an Arnold movie that neither one of us had ever seen.
What was it?
Raw Deal.
I thought you were going to say Raw Dog. Oh, my God.
No. No, Raw Deal. And it was done... Man, this is like after Terminator, but before Predator. He was like this ex-FBI agent who is no longer an FBI agent.
Okay.
And he's now a local town sheriff. Nah, I'm a town sheriff. Come on. Used to be an FBI agent. And it's funny because then, like, one of his buddies from the FBI, like I would say, like guy that was maybe about like his leader or superior officer. I don't know. Not sure how the lingo or how the hierarchy works in the FBI.
Totally.
But his son gets killed in the line of duty with this mob boss.
Oh, no.
And he wants Arnie to go in undercover and take him out. Because Arnie took down this serial killer and brought him back with half of his bones broken.
Damn.
And this is my favorite line in the whole movie. And because the prosecutor went after Arnold, right?
Of course.
And basically got him to where if he stepped down, he wasn't going to face charges. So he did. It's like, yeah, well, you brought the guy in with half his bones broken. And he's like, he kidnapped a 13-year-old girl. Fuck. Hold on. I have to say it right. All right, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
He kidnapped a 13-year-old girl. He mutilated, molested, and murdered her.
Oh my God. What a weird line to make him say.
Oh, I know. I was laughing. I watched it 4 times, and I'm like, there's no way that he got this taken 4 times, so I got to watch it 4 times. Oh, man. It was a bad movie. It was a good bad movie. And the guy that played his FBI buddy was the dad from The Christmas Story.
Nice.
And there's a scene where like these 2 construction site trucks. One's like a big tractor with like it's like an excavator or whatever, or I'm not even sure that's right. But then the other one's like this big dump truck, the really big ones where they put big rocks in them, right?
Sure.
And they're gonna smash him. He's in a car, and that one thing picks the car up, and it's like, and he leaps out, and he goes, "Nyah!" And they subtitled it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Was it NGYA?
No, because that's how I do it. I do ENYAGH exclamation points. For,
Yeah.
So, but no, they did Y.
Okay.
Yai is like YIEI. Yai.
Yay.
Yai.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Tombstone's another one that I love.
Okay.
Just like you said, cowboys. I like Tombstone a lot.
Is that a just like a warm fuzzy blanket type deal for you?
I just like that movie.
Okay.
I mean, Val Kilmer's awesome in it.
I think that if I look at nostalgia and youth and childhood and coming of age me and everything and think about movies that are must watch, will put on, there are 3 that will always stand out as no matter what mood I'm in, I know I can watch them. Pulp Fiction is one. Sets the tone right. Just always sets the tone right for me. Having a shitty day, I need to see that scene with Travolta and the adrenaline and the needle. It's fucking amazing. It just gets me every time. It's so brutal. And like the story that fucking some dude passed out when they premiered that movie because of that scene makes it even better.
I was there the first time you saw that movie.
I think the first time I saw it all the way through, because we watched it at Jason's, right?
We watched it at your house.
We did watch it here. That's right. Because I remember... Well, go ahead.
Because your dad had seen it, and he hadn't seen it since it first came out. And at that point, I think I was like 10 years before or whatever. And he was laughing, and he was like, "Oh my God," and like going along with it. But that was the first time I'd ever watched it all the way through. And I remember Jason telling me about this movie like a couple of years prior, like way back, like maybe it was like 2001 or something. He went down to Alabama to visit family, and he saw the movie on television. He had no idea what these characters' names were, so he's like, "So John Travolta gets killed in the middle of the movie, and then he's back at the end, like nothing ever happened." He's just like, he's trying to explain it, like Bruce Willis kills John Travolta, and I'm just like, "What movie is this? This sounds like insanity."
This is brutal. I remember the first time I watched, like, I would say half of the movie, like maybe the back half. I was at my mom's house, and it was on, like, Cinemax at, like, 2 in the morning, and I just caught, like, probably from just after Martin gets shot to the end of the movie, so the last half, is, I would say. But then, like, Twister is another warm, fuzzy blanket. A lot of that just spawns from the memory I get of thinking of the first time I saw it, which was at the Lorraine Theater. At that time, it had the super powerful sound system, pre-IMAX's standards and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, as you probably will as well, they flipped the car upside down outside of the Lorraine for the premiere. And I remember a couple things. One, I went with my dad during the first couple nights of its premiere. And we saw the movie, and we were in the upper balcony, and it shook me. It physically shook me when the F5, like they did such a good job with the sound. And then I remember our class, I don't know if every class at John Greer did this, but I think so. Or maybe it was Honeywell. I feel like it was... I can't remember exactly what... It would have had to have been John Greer, though, because it was closer to the theater, I think. Because we went and saw Twister at the Lorraine as a class. And they gave us the little Twister spinny dude. Do you remember that little spinny dude?
Yes, I do. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember seeing the movie there.
Yeah. I just remember that we did it at school. I don't know why that's such a... It's
They also had like a little thing where they had those little spinny cylinder things where you could spin them and it would make a little twister.
Totally.
They had a machine with this big one going where it was just...
Yes! Absolutely.
So what did we go see? Was it Twister or was it like around the same time as Twister?
No, it was Twister. We got to see Twister.
I don't remember seeing Twister.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely... Or maybe they just let us tour the place and we got that thing from Twister. I thought we saw... I can't, for the life of me, remember exactly.
What was the last movie you saw at the Lorraine before it shut down?
First Transformers?
Okay, so I was like 08.
Yeah.
Wait, First Transformers?
I think so.
No, First Transformers came out like in 07 or something.
Maybe it was the second one. Revenge of the Fallen or whatever.
Okay.
Because I'll never forget, I knew Wes when I went to the... I think you went with us. The plan was we were all going to go to the Lorraine. We went, but the fucking problem was the Lorraine didn't take debit cards. We all had debit cards. And, like, Wes was all, like, super sweating it. So I, like, just ran across the street to my ATM because it was literally across the street and pulled out, I don't know, probably like 30 or 40 bucks to get some tickets. I don't know if I bought everybody's, but I bought several tickets to see that.
I wasn't there that time.
Yeah, to see that movie.
I saw Revenge of the Fallen with Kate in the at Lafayette.
Nice.
The last movie I saw in Lorraine was Star Trek 09.
Oh, nice.
And I'll never forget for some reason the tornado siren was going off in Hoopston.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, I remember we came over and there was a miscommunication on band practice or something. And, like, you guys were in Champaign and we're not going to be back for, like, another 3 hours.
Oh, shit.
So we're like, what are we going to do for 3 hours? Of course, we didn't have a kid at the time. So we're like, let's go see what's playing at the theater. And we just happened to, like, all right, the next showing is in, like a half hour or something. So it's like, oh, that's plenty of time because it's probably like a 2.5 hour movie. By the time that's over, they'll be back. So I remember they had now this is the first time that I had been there. That was like 09, right? Yeah, Star Trek 09. So then this is the first time I'd been there, man, in a long time. Probably since Batman Begins, maybe after that. I can't remember what I would have saw after that. Because I was still around in the area.
You know what? I saw Dark Knight in the Lorraine.
Did you?
Fuck yeah.
I saw that midnight release in Lafayette. They had it on 5 screens.
Sweet.
But no, Star Trek 09, and they had replaced the seats with different seats. The screen was okay. There was a blemish on the screen that bugged me the whole movie. Because it was an older screen, you know.
Yeah.
The sound was fine, but there was a quiet moment between Spock and Uhura on the elevator.
Sure.
And that alarm and that damn tornado siren was going off, and it sounded like I don't know if you've ever watched Family Guy, but they did this gag about the distracting trumpet.
Yeah.
And we had just seen that like a day or two before that, so it just reminded us both of the distracting trumpet. So we were just laughing the whole time.
Oh, that's awesome.
But But then the Lorraine was an awesome theater. I saw Jurassic Park there.
Same.
I saw Batman Forever there.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you and I probably saw a lot of the same movies there because we were in the same town.
Ninja Turtles 3, my first date.
Is that okay? So hold on. Well, number one, you actually saw that in theaters. Number two, that was your actual first date.
Kinda, yeah, but it was chaperoned by my parents. I mean, because we were only like fucking 6 or whatever. It was a quote unquote date. Me and I think Danny Clyden went and saw it.
How romantic.
Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. I was a nerd. And,
You know, even back then, I didn't like that movie.
maybe I guess I'm weird. I just like the Ninja Turtles. I thought they were cool as shit. You could
No, I love the first two movies.
Yeah,
I mean, the first movie's the best.
clearly.
It's awesome. Second movie's okay. It's good. It's watching it back now. I could definitely see why I liked it as a kid. It's a lot more kid friendly.
Yeah. They also don't use their weapons, really.
No, never. I think Donnie uses his once.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I mean, it's a stick. So, all right. I'm trying to think what else I saw. I mean, of course, Spider-Man 1 and 2 there.
Oh, first Spider-Man, yeah, definitely. Independence Day, which is the third one on my list of top 3. Independence Day, I saw that there, and that was a fucking mind-bending experience. That's why every time I get a new sound system now, I test it with Independence Day. Just to see how it stacks up to when I saw it at the Lorraine.
Yeah, I remember me and Jason had our seats. We'd always sit in the same seats.
Nice.
And if anybody else wanted to sit with us, they had to like recognize and not sit in between us because there was always a seat in between us. Because we each needed our bubble. Because the Lorraine, it had like 3 sections down on the floor. You had the middle,
Yep.
and then like the 2 sides.
Yep.
And then, so if you're looking at the screen, we were on the left, so many rows back, and then there was like the aisle seat, and then a seat empty, and then the other seat, and then we were always right there, like no matter what, it was
Nice.
always the same thing. I remember we went and saw Pirates of the Caribbean on like opening weekend, and so with Pirates, he was actually more interested in seeing it than I was. I had seen maybe one trailer, I didn't look into it, knew nothing about it really. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to go see it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So we get there, and we get there within 5 minutes. Like we were 5 minutes late. We probably could have got tickets and gone right in.
Sure.
But instead, he decides, nope, we're waiting. So we have to wait in town. The next showing is not for a while. This was in Danville.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So we went to Walmart,
Which is what you do.
walked around. I bought Terminator 2 on DVD.
Fuck yeah.
I remember that. That was my first copy. Because I remember it came with like this collector tin slip cover, and I couldn't get the movie out.
Yeah.
And it ended up like ripping the side of my DVD case.
Oh.
Yeah, man. It was like, I'm like, anyway, so we were sitting, and eventually we ended up back up in the parking lot for the last hour that we had to wait. And these dudes walk up, and they're just hanging out by his car, talking to us, trying to sell us weed.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh, we were. This was in 2004. Yeah.
Nice, juniors.
Yeah, right, like summer 2004. So I remember went in, saw the movie, was blown away. I'm like, wow, this movie's awesome. And then we went and saw it again when it went to Lorraine. Like I think it went to Lorraine like a week or 2 later. Because back then, of course, Lorraine's only one screen, guys. For anybody who doesn't know, it's that old school timey theater with only one screen. So, especially during blockbuster season, they wouldn't always get every movie right when it came out. Because if there was a couple of movies that came out within a certain amount of time, they would pick one, have it for a couple of weeks, and then do the other one. So that way they could try and get everybody who wanted to see the other one get that for 2 weeks and then shuffle in, Pirates. They'd show that for a couple weeks, or maybe even longer if there's not one coming out right after that. So I heard they're actually updating the Little Lorraine.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks amazing. They're working on it. They're like adding tiered seating, so like there'll be sections, and each section will be. It's almost like box seat stand kind of thing, like where there's like a little section for. I don't know, it's hard to. It's easy to explain because it's like a riser. Every level goes up, and there's a couple rows of seats in each or whatever. But like it'll help. I think it'll be nice. One complaint I have about the Lorraine way back, by the way, I was just thinking about this one, is one time I emailed them in anger and disgust because they got some fucking stupid bull, literally a bull animated movie, some stupid shit that no one was seeing, Home on the Range or some shit. I think that's what it was called, Home on the Range. And I was like, why the fuck are you guys not getting Freddy versus Jason? What in the fuck are you doing, Lorraine? Like, seriously. And because I really wanted to see Freddy versus Jason on the Lorraine with the surround and everything. And it never came to Hoopston, dude. Ever. Fuckers. I'm still mad to this day. I just remembered that right now. I'm still holding a grudge. You fucks.
So, like, I know that, like, they've been trying to do, like, renovating issues to the theater. Is that it going anywhere?
No, yeah, they've made a lot of headway. They have events now in the Big Lorraine, like concerts and shit. And then they also show shows at the Little Lorraine every week, which is all donation based. So when they're open, they're just, anytime they're, doing whatever, they're making some money. And, it seems to be trying to go places, and it's a weird situation for me to be in because it is my family that's running it. Like, so I do kind of know the ins and outs of what's going on, but it's also like their fucking business, man. Like I don't want to, say too much or whatever, but I know that they're just trying really hard. My grandpa and I had a really nice conversation about the Lorraine last year, and he just had some like, how do you, questions about the social media side of things and whatnot. And I tried to walk him through it a little bit, but they are putting a lot of work and effort into it, and I think it's cool because I fucking love that theater so much. So to see them actually putting their hearts and minds into trying to make it better is like, yes, that's what I want. That's the Hoopston I remember.
Dude, that was the place to go. Like
Fuck
on a,
yeah.
like on a Friday night, dude. On a Friday night, especially like could you imagine seeing Endgame with that old sound system?
Oh, I made a mess in my drawers.
Yeah, because we went and saw, me and Mike went and saw Spider-Man in the new IMAX in Lafayette. And I've been to an actual IMAX, like not one of these kind of more mass-produced ones, but an actual like curved, you
are
seating,
in the screen.
Yes, like down there at the State Museum in Indy, they have one. I saw Dark Knight Rises there. It was really cool because you know how Nolan did those. Like there were certain scenes that were all IMAX.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of go back down to actual movie, slow back down, and then all of a sudden when that next IMAX scene hit, whoop, and you're like, okay, we're in it now.
Shit.
It was really cool. But going to Spider-Man, man, is loud, right?
Totally.
And Mike was like, man, that was too loud. I'm like, that's what movies used to be for me. That's what I remember going to the theater, and you're just like, you're just getting whomped back, man. Your hair's flying over, especially with that damn T-Rex from Jurassic Park's roaring right in your face.
Dude, I was just thinking about that. It's so loud when you saw the Lorraine, like it shook you.
I know.
Oh.
It was like almost every movie. I remember seeing, the first Spider-Man there.
2002, yeah.
Yeah, and just like the score and everything, right? I remember seeing Revenge of the Sith.
Hey, graduation. We got back from our senior trip that day.
I did not go with you guys.
That's right. You caught like the day we graduated or the day after or something like that?
I think it was Sunday. I think I went and saw it on Sunday.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because I was already tired.
Totally.
And you needed to show up at the rehearsal for graduation at 9 a.m. If you were late, you didn't get to walk.
Pretty sure you were late, but because of extenuating circumstances that were out of your control, or no, Jason was late. That's right. They let him walk anyways because that was just a threat. Fucking bastards.
Right. But I mean, like, you know, it was, I wanted to go with you guys to go see it, but it was stressed upon me that if you're staying out that late, you might oversleep. And if you don't get to walk, we'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck.
And like, yeah, you're right. I better show that I'm capable of being an adult. And okay, I'll see it some other time.
I'm pretty sure that I literally just went to the rehearsal, did the rehearsal, went home, and went right back to sleep. Like, I just fucking, because I don't know if I stayed up anyways, or if I can't remember if I napped, but yeah, man, that was a crazy day. We got up super early, went all the way up to Gurney to do the Six Flags Great America thing, and that was crazy. And then like, fucking come home, and we went to Brad Hardcastle's house, and we were just chilling for like 2 hours at his place, man. I was like, fuck. If I'd have known we were just going to be sitting here waiting, because I thought we were going up to the theater to get, like, good seats and shit, you know? And I was like, fuck, if I known we were just going to be standing around doing nothing with our thumbs in our ass, I would have went home and, like, took, like, a nap. Jesus. You know? Obviously, I didn't do that. And Revenge of the Sith was okay. I think I might have dozed for, like, 0.2 of a second, but, it's Revenge of the Sith. What can you say?
I was actually very pleased with the movie in theaters. I thought it was really good for the prequels. I thought it was the best one out of the three.
Oh, totally.
And that it I felt like Star Wars, you know, where like Episode 2 did not. Episode 1 is actually the most Star Wars of the prequels. When you're talking about a Star Wars thematic movie, it's a Star Wars. It literally is A New Hope kind of again.
It just didn't feel like Star Wars.
I can argue that. I think that is the most Star Warsy of them, but it's got a different pace to it. It's slower. It is a lot slower. Like the movie really doesn't, like, it starts off, slows way down. It slows back down some more. Slows down. Pod race, you know, the Star Wars version of the Ben-Hur scene.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. With it. You know, it's a lot of loud noises. It's kind of cool. And then it's like, ha! We're going to tease you with a fight. Nah, okay. Just kidding. But, no. Yeah. Lorraine was just an awesome theater. I miss old theaters like that. These multi-cineplexes, you know, they're cool. I love the new seats at the Lafayette East Side 10. Holy crap, that's not the one that we're going to in a few weeks.
Damn, but oh well.
No, dude, because the ones there, they recline back all the way, and they have footrest that comes out, and you're just like,
oh my.
Oh, dude, they're so nice. Even the IMAX seats, like, they rock and they're comfy, but they don't recline back.
Interesting.
So I love the seats in the new theater. They're awesome. But no, we're actually going to Wabash, which is across the river, down at the Wabash Landing, and we're gonna go see Metallica S&M.
Hell yeah, 2.
S&M 2, yeah. Might want to preface this isn't just a theater showing of the DVD that's already out. This is not out on DVD, but they'll put it out on DVD.
I'm sure.
Or on Blu-ray, whatever. Unfortunately, I already know the set list.
Same. I have too many friends in Metallica groups.
I clicked on an article which was talking about it, and then I was scrolling down, and boom, there the set list was. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever. It's so cool. I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
Yeah, I'm not really bummed. I'm actually really jazzed at it. And like I said, I actually have a couple people on my friends list who were there at the Symphony of Metallica too. So I've seen videos and little clips here and there, but nothing's going to beat seeing it at that level and it just being concert level experience.
Well, because after I saw the set list, I did see some videos embedded, and some people were filming from the floor. And how they did it like with the symphony in the middle with them.
Sweet.
And which would be cool if you were further back. But because the dude filming was like right up on the floor next to the damn symphony, it sounded uneven, even from the phone. And it was like, I'm sure in the mix when we see it, it's gonna be great. It just seems like when you go see a symphony, man, you almost want to you want to be in front of it.
Correct.
Got
to give room for the sound to blend to you.
Exactly, and of course they kind of did it in more of a like an arena type deal, which, I mean, they got more people in there. That's cool, but at the other time, it's like if you're in the wrong spot, that would have sucked.
All I can hear is this fucking harp player.
Damn you, harp!
Oh fuck!
And she's like, "Quit harping on me."
I thought it was that muscly guy with the tuxedo T-shirt from S&M 1.
Oh man, when we're when we look back on things like we talked about favorite movies and whatnot. Of course, video games are a big part of what I grew up on and still spend a lot of my time doing. And you said going back and playing games that give you that warm and fuzzy feeling. What are those games for you?
Oh, man. Well, honestly, when I think about games that make me feel warm and fuzzy, I think about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on NES. It was just like one of the first games I ever had. That and RC Pro-Am, I think, was the game, right? Those were two games I had when I was a kid, and then I remember having... this is a game that no one gives a fuck about, but I don't even care. I'm going to still shout it out. 10 Star on Super Nintendo is absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. It's like a Western cyborg shooter game. It worked with the light gun, but I did not have that, so I used a controller, and it was a million times harder to play that game with a controller because there's an actual spot where you target to shoot the character. So you had to use the fucking joypad to rush it over, and it was never easy or even possible at some points, but... and then man, all the way up and until I think about Grand Theft Auto Vice City really sneaks up there as a game that if I ever need to just go back into feeling nostalgic in who I was when I was in my youth, I put on Grand Theft Auto. The soundtrack is amazing and the gameplay is fun. There were a lot of cool things they did with the storyline, as you'll recall. And then, strangely enough, Guitar Hero, man. For some reason, Guitar Hero keeps getting... We have... The fucking PS2 is busted out right now at my house with Guitar Hero in it and the controller plugged in, They
just added some Super Nintendo games to the Switch.
Oh, I saw. I've already been playing Super Mario Kart.
And I just beat Star Fox today.
Hell yeah!
Sat down, started that up, and played that. Here's the thing: I am better at that game than what I used to be, but I'm also worse at the same time. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. It's where I feel like when I was younger, I was more resilient to the game over screen. It's I'm trying again, and I play the game for hours, whatever. Now it's game over. I'm all right, I guess I'll go do something else for a while.
Fuck it, time to go do the dishes.
Yeah, it's just all right, I admit defeat, Andros, but you win this time.
Got me this time, you silly bitch.
Well, I remember, of course, in Star Fox, the original one, you have 3 levels to go through. The middle one's kind of the easier one. That's the one that I beat today. And then the top one is level 2. The bottom one's level 3. I remember getting to the last level in level 3 and never was able to beat it. And I never got to World 3 on level 2. I don't know what it was, but the other day I finally did, and it was the first time I've ever seen it.
Wow.
And I'm like, huh, I'm on level 3. I'm on the 3rd one. And she's like, cool. I'm like, this is a big deal to me.
You're like, revel in it with me, damn it.
And then I died.
Oh, boo horns.
But it is what it is, you know. I'll give it a shot. No, Star Fox. I remember playing the crap out of Star Fox. Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda. That is one where, for sure, one of my most beaten games of all time, and number 5 in my top 5 of all time.
Hell yeah!
Like that game is timeless. A lot of people like that game ages gracefully, and you could play a PS1 game and go, "Oh my god, these graphics look terrible, look awful." There are several games that I do that with. They're like, man, it's a good game, but it's hard to look at.
Yeah, it's just not graphically appealing, man.
Yeah. So then, but when you look at these games from the Super Nintendo, especially your 2D sprite games like Legend of Zelda, that just age so well. Especially when you put them on a different screen, or even more akin. Hopefully I have it over here. You ever played on one of these?
Oh yeah, the Micro.
Game Boy Micro has the smallest screen, and it is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most HD looking system for old school games. And let me turn down the volume. Also, did you know that the Link to the Past 4 Swords was developed by Capcom?
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so the screen is pretty small on the Micro. I'll completely understand if people don't like looking at this. But nothing compares to the graphical fidelity of looking at these old school graphics, and when you blow it up on the TV, it looks pixelated.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Gonna. It's already
But
pixelated, and you're pulling the pixels even further apart.
Well, and the thing is that in this, on this level of screen, dude, it looks so awesome because it does not look pixelated whatsoever. It's to that point of when you reduce the resolution down, it looks fantastic. The only thing that sucks about trying to play this on the Game Boy Micro is that there's only 4 buttons.
And it's a Micro. It's so fucking tiny.
It is tiny. So you got to get used to that. There's also not a headphone jack. Wait, no, yes, there is. No, it's the SP that doesn't have a headphone jack.
Yeah.
This adds a headphone jack back in. No, so if you're playing Link to the Past, the button that you use to pick up pots is the R button, the shoulder button.
Hit the R button
and
to
it
pick
feels,
up pot.
Yeah, and it's so weird. It feels wrong on every level. This isn't supposed to be, but it is.
Weird.
And you just got to get used to it. But it looks phenomenal. Playing Final Fantasy VI on that looks phenomenal. I have actually laid in bed like this, laying on my side, and it's not very comfortable after a while.
The real FF3.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, Kefka's story.
The real, that is our FF3, yeah. Also, have you ever seen that meme, which basically summarizes all of the Final Fantasies? From 1 to 15?
Maybe.
It's called Final Fantasy in a Nutshell.
No, I don't think so.
All right, Final Fantasy 1, 4 heroes break a time loop.
Sure.
Okay. Final Fantasy 2, Star Wars, where the Emperor dies, then comes back as the devil, and then dies again, and then comes back as God, and then gets killed by Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 3, 4 orphans fight a man who threw a hissy fit over his inheritance.
Awesome.
Final Fantasy 4, Star Wars, but the Emperor is a space ghost on the moon. Final Fantasy 5, Evil Giving Tree and his gay lover fight a confused harem protagonist and his princess. Final Fantasy VI, Star Wars, but the Emperor is killed and replaced by the Joker halfway through. Racism is bad.
Weird.
Final Fantasy VII, eco-terrorists recruit a man with a padded resume. Discover corporate greed has caused giant meteor to be elected. Hold a recount.
Awesome.
Final Fantasy VIII, a group of cadets find out they all lived at the same orphanage. Amnesia to blame. The lead character may also be dead.
Oh, shit.
There's a big long-standing theory that Squall dies at the end of Disc 1.
Weird.
That he's just killed, and then the rest of the game is just in his head. That's not true, but it's just whatever. Final Fantasy IX, Star Wars, but the main characters are either clones or princesses.
I love that. Clones or princesses.
Yeah.
Not cloned princesses.
Final Fantasy X, Daddy Issues, the real sports story. with special guest Christian Guilt Complex.
Oh my, that's awesome.
Final Fantasy XI, that was the first online game. Giraffe and friends stopped the writer from erasing this game. Final Fantasy XII, Star Wars, but half the bad guys aren't actually that bad, except for Judge Bergen. That guy's a dick.
God.
Final Fantasy XIII, being the chosen one will kill your dating life.
True.
Final Fantasy XIV, heroes saved the world from bad gameplay and bugs. Of course, that game is notorious for launching, being terrible, and then they completely pulled the game off shelves because it was on PC only at the start, remade the game, and then put it out again.
Yep.
So, like, originally it was just called Final Fantasy XIV. They pulled it out, put it back out as Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. They actually put that shitty-ass game part of their story when they remade it.
Really?
As to why it's better. They did, where it's like the world ended or something, and then something, yeah.
Huh.
Final Fantasy XV, a bachelor party goes very badly. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII. That was the first RPG that I ever really played. My first exposure to JRPGs.
Fuck yeah!
I never got to play. I never did play the RPGs on the SNES or Super Nintendo. I played Mario RPG, but I didn't get it. It didn't. I'm like, what is this? You know,
It didn't hit you.
it's like didn't. Well, no. It wasn't until later that I did play Final Fantasy III, and one of my other favorite games of all time, Chrono Trigger. I love that game. That game is phenomenal.
Fuck
and
yeah.
I cannot wait for me to do another playthrough of that for my stream, because that game, there are very few things in life that I would feel that is akin to a religious experience. And the first game I ever really felt that with was FF7. Metal Gear Solid would probably be up there. The first one.
Fuck yes.
As far as like, wow, this is a game. This is awesome. This is something that I felt. I felt that with Mass Effect 2. Like, wow. Just the characters in this freaking game are amazing. The Mass Effect 2 is the Dark Knight of that series, because it doesn't have to push the story forward. It can focus on characters. And that's what that game does. The main story is, it's good. It's there. It does something. It's good enough. But, like, no, the real specialty of Mass Effect 2 is getting a cast of characters and being able to sit down with them and talk to them and help them out and go on adventures with them and having these moments with them. That's what, like, the Dark Knight movie, that was like, you didn't have to worry about what Batman's story was going to be, because he was going to be Batman. The whole best part of that movie was everything going on around that character.
Absolutely agree with you. There were so many plot points being threaded in and out, and Mass Effect 2 is an awesome game. Final Fantasy is an awesome game. But Brando, you're playing your games and you're chilling. What kind of pizza or food are you eating? Like, what's your go-to snackage?
Man, go-to snackage. So here's the thing, man.
That's the episode title. Go to Snackage.
Go to Snackage. I like a lot of different kind of food, man. Because I mean, like when I'm thinking about there's a lot of food that I love that is not around here. You know, In-N-Out's awesome, but I can't just go get In-N-Out.
Totally.
You know, can't do it. So that's not what I'm gonna go think about. Not what I'm gonna get. So when I'm thinking burgers, man, you know what's really ticking my boxes right now for burger joints?
What?
For any one of the big ones that are just around everywhere.
Sure.
Wendy's, man.
Wendy's, bro. Wendy's has got some good shit.
Dude, it ticks it. You know, I like Burger King. I like that. You know, and you know what? I even like McDonald's to a certain point. Here's the thing. I saw something a while ago, and this is going to kind of tie it back around to we were talking about Metallica earlier. Every once in a while, I get into this issue where I watch dudes react to metal music that aren't typically into metal music.
I've got a couple of those I follow.
Yeah. And this dude was watching Metallica, and then he paused the video, and he goes, you know what, this is like, it wasn't his first Metallica, it was a couple of them. He goes, a lot of people dog on Metallica. He goes, but every single thing that I've seen, I love it. And he goes, and here's the thing, Metallica is the McDonald's of metal. He goes, and I'll tell you why. He goes, because, one, everybody knows who they are and what they do.
Sure.
Not everybody likes them. They like some other options out there. They might even like them better. But everybody knows what McDonald's is.
I love that analogy.
And it's also the most accessible. So it's like, God damn, you're right. So it's like even when you're like, man, you know what, I could really go for some Wendy's, you find yourself in that McDonald's drive-thru.
Dude, speaking of drive-thru food, I need to mention this to you. I was driving home today. I took a weird path to get to my dad's house. Ended up going through Watsika. They've got a new Taco Bell right there by the Walmart. I went there and got the Taco Bell. My new go-to at Taco Bell is to just order the $5 whatever the fuck box they have as the special. Because I like trying new shit. Fucking whatever. Brand new thing they just rolled out, dude. Toasted cheddar chalupas. It's like cheddar encrusted chalupa. It was so fucking amazing. So good.
Have you seen the new sandwich coming out from KFC?
The donut sandwich.
The donut sandwich.
Hell yeah, I saw the donut sandwich. It was weird. I really wanted to try it, but then it's not available in this area.
No, not yet. I bet it will be.
Yeah. You know what I did try? I think you already tried it, right? Impossible Whopper.
I never got a chance to try it.
Dude, you know what's crazy? You can't tell the difference. I understand why Burger King did that 50-50 campaign where it was just like, figure it out.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think you could tell the difference is the Impossible Whopper wasn't nearly as greasy. Everything else was the exact same texturally, smelled the same, was good, didn't give me the shits as far as I knew. I mean, I don't think I've had the shits, but not recently anyways. I mean, a little TMI there for you, but yeah, man. But to talk on burger places, have you ever had Five Guys?
Yes.
God damn, that's a good burger.
Oh, no, it's awesome. I love it. Our closest one is downtown. It's like down the road from where we're going to be going to see the movie or see S&M 2.
Oh.
That is the closest one to me. So it's like not really accessible to me.
Totally.
I have to go out of my way to get it.
Totally understandable. I was going to just say something to you that was totally on topic of all this, and my brain meats are just Krispy Kreme. Oh, dude, they're
Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, you got me
We were just
there.
talking about donuts.
There's a place in Lafayette that you need to try that I didn't know existed, but I got this exact same thing in Denver. I know that sounds weird, but it's apparently a chain, and they've got one in Lafayette called Jet's Pizza.
Yeah, I've had it.
They've got like this Detroit style pizza. It was so fucking good. I made myself sick on that pizza, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of, and I don't know if you ever had this before, Garcia's Pizza in Champaign.
I never had Garcia.
Oh, that's jizz-worthy pizza.
No, I have had Jets. Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's pretty good. You know what pizza place has really surprised me as far as it being as good as it is now?
What?
Domino's.
Oh, let me tell you about Domino's, bro. If you order their personal pan, or not their personal pan, if you order their pan pizza, it's like old school book it Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah.
So good.
Dude, I remember when we first moved to Lafayette, there was a Domino's right down the road. And the first thing we had, the very first night, they had 3 medium pizzas for $5 each. And we each got like a medium pizza. And it was cheap, good to go pizza, almost like this Little Caesars. In fact, it was probably a similar quality. But then it was like, yeah, I think we tried the Frankfurt one not long after we moved here, and then we never tried it again. We have a multitude of pizza joints here. Holy shit. We have Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's. We have Little Caesars. We have Arnie's. We have Bruno's. And it's just, you have pizza for days here. So it's like
You have Casey's there too, don't you?
Not in Frankfurt. We have one in Lafayette.
There's not
We
a
have one
Casey's. That's actually surprising.
Nope. There was a local gas station chain here. It was locally owned in Frankfurt. It was called Acres, and they just recently, in the last 4 years, sold it to like a chain called Good to Go or something like that.
Good to go.
But no, just maybe like in the last year or so, it was like, screw it. Let's see. We're finally shopping around. I got her out of the rut of Pizza Hut or Arnie's. Pizza Hut or Arnie's. She grew up on Arnie's. Arnie's for me, it's okay. I can eat it. It's that thin crust. It almost gives me that Monocles thing, but it's not quite Monocles. So it's like a notch under that for me. But I understand what she means by that home pizza, because Casey's is that for me.
Yeah.
It's not the best pizza I've ever had by any stretch of the imagination, but every time I have a slice, it's a taste of home.
That's Monocles for me, because, as you know. Or Pizza King, too.
Well, see, and Monocles is that way for me, too. I never really got down on Pizza King too much. Pizza King, it was always greasy and made my tummy hurt.
Yeah.
So I never really ate it.
Give it in gurgle guts.
So I understand why she loves Arnie's, and I will acquiesce and we'll get it from time to time because I understand how that makes her feel, and I get it. It's the same feeling that I get with my pizza sometimes. But I finally got her to go get fucking Domino's, and let's go order Domino's. I want to try it because I've been hearing all this stuff, and damn it, they have turned their shit around. They're way better now than what they used to be. We had it probably just like 4 weeks ago, maybe. I think it was the last time we had it. Man, it was on point.
Fuck yeah. I love a good Domino's sandwich, too. They're like hot subs or delimchins, man. Mm-hmm. Delimchins.
What's your favorite sub place? Maybe try to keep it to the ones that are more widely available, because I understand there's some smaller places that are really good, but
no, Subway.
Subway still?
Yeah, man, it's weird. Like, I've had Subway twice this week. I had Subway today, for fuck's sake.
You know what? I love the shit out of Subway.
Same, and like the Subway by you in the BP is one of the coolest Subways. We've had many stories there and memories.
We have. I just had Subway. I tried that new brisket sandwich.
Oh, how is it?
It's all right. It's pretty good. If I had a choice, I would probably not have them put. I wanted to get it the way that they were marketing it.
Sure.
So I wanted to try it that way first. If I get it again, I'm gonna not have them put the sauce on it.
Sure.
Because their sauce is pretty bland. It was okay, right? It did the job. But I got this new. It's not new, but I got this Carolina mustard style barbecue sauce from Heinz.
Nice.
And it is. Oh, it's so good. It's like a mixture of honey mustard and barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
It's like more mustard than barbecue sauce, but every once in a while you get a little like a little tang.
Ooh, flavor
there,
town.
And it's like I would love to put that on there and see what that tastes like. I bet it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I need to try
Penn
that
Station.
sandwich. Penn Station's delicious.
Station. I love me some Penn Station, especially their Philly cheesesteak.
Yes, that's all I order from there.
Oh,
So filling.
I gorge myself and then like end up having like bubble guts,
Yep.
big old guts, gut buster, for sure.
Gurgle Gut City.
Absolutely. So one thing that you say, like, again, this is kind of a big smorgasbord of an episode of just us reminiscing about like about things that make us all happy and shit. But the last thing that you said that you wanted to do was sort of like an homage to another show. They do this thing where they do voices and they read a movie script or they read a script, and we do some impersonations. But between the two of us, and Yanni, hey, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Hey, try to do Sylvester. It's kind of hard sometimes because you got to remember, he's not Rocky. Because he's actually, he's a pretty smart fella. So, you can't just immediately take away the grammar. But,
That was good.
well, I'm serious. Like, I have to separate Sylvester just being Sylvester, Sylvester being Rocky. Because, like, hey, I don't read too good, Yeah.
Playing up the character.
No, you really got to act dumb when you're Rocky, because that's who Rocky is. He's just a dumb kid, He's just a young muscle kid from Philly. But what voices do you do?
Okay, so do or do not. There is no try. Little Yoda for you. Honestly though, the voices that I can talk the longest in are mainly Metalocalypse characters.
Oh, Metalocalypse.
Yeah, I can do like a lot of like Murderface, and I can hold like a drunk Pickles conversation, which is really, there's a fluidity to being drunk Pickles. You have to kind of like give yourself to the current of that character. Nathan Explosion's really easy because it's deep and it's in my vocal range. I can just like, I just get down into the vocal when I'm talking, and you kind of got to make it to where you don't really know what you're gonna, like say and stuff. And then like, you can switch it up and do like, this is like Pickles. So Pickles is just gonna go to the store and drink some orange juice straight out of the cooler, you fucking weirdos. And like you gotta kind of like, that's when he's all drunk and messed up and whatnot. And then obviously everybody laughs about this one, but it's my favorite one is to do Murderface, because what you do with your Murderface, you just gotta get into a little bit of a rhythm here. You just, you get loose, and then you fucking dildo. What are you doing right now, man? You close your eyes, you're sleeping on me. Come on, wake up!
So one that I don't do often, and when I've done it and I've nailed it, because I have to get really loud to do it. And that's Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, my.
So, like, quite literally, I just read this thing on Facebook, and I'm going to move the mic back. And, like, when I do it, I try to get the whole big, he does, like, this full face squint. Like his entire face just squints into itself. His jaw meets forehead, and he is like one big eyelid, Hey, Jafar! You know how I'm feeling right now? Not doing shit because I feel anxious, but I'm feeling anxious because I'm not doing shit. That's me. And it's so hard to do that I did not hear it in my own voice that time. It's very difficult. And it's also funny that that's not really the way he talks.
Yeah, he's got like a slow voice.
He's nowhere near there. He really accents the New York. So he's not one of the ones. There was one that at one point, it's hard to do at work because nobody can hear it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Not Gilbert Gottfried, but like, hey man, you want a game I really like playing? I like playing the Phantom Pain.
All right.
All right, because you know when the pain kicks in and he gets right in that mode, I feel like that's me 24/7 right there. I don't know. It's like, man, I've been playing the Phantom Pain since before they started paying me to play the Phantom Pain.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, all right. I got everything out. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like I'm just so damn good. I'm in such good shape. I mean, I'm out there running all by myself, listening to my music, just moving right along. You know, sitting there with my washboard abs. You know what washboard abs sound like?
No.
I bet they sound like a lot like a washboard. I don't. I was making that up completely. Didn't know where I was going. Oh, dude, that was like Matthew McConaughey meets dad joke.
There you go. That was all right.
Oh man! So I selected a piece from a script for us to read, and there are a couple characters. All right, so here, okay, so I'm on page 1, and we are gonna hit it in with and action. So we got one character. This is the script from The Disaster Artist, and they're filming the big famous. Johnny line from Tommy Wiseau. It's like, it's not true. I did not hit her. I did not. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Well, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
There was one time where I was doing Tommy Wiseau in so many things. Oh, hi, Marty. It's good to see you. I built time machine.
I love that.
So yeah, no, like when this movie came out, I was doing Tommy Wiseau for everything. So it's like, oh hi, look at what we do. We make the dinosaur, and it gives birth to itself.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So we have Sandy, Tommy.
Tommy is Johnny.
Right, yeah, Johnny. I meant, Sandy, Johnny. I think it's funny because it shows Johnny, and then like because in the script is like referring to Tommy and quote Johnny, and it sounds like those are the only two characters that really speak during this.
So you should take Johnny / Tommy, and I'll do Sandy.
Snandy.
Snandy.
All right. So here's the thing. What do you want me to do Johnny as?
Again, we're gonna stick with favorites. Your favorite impersonation to do.
My favorite. I mean, that's okay. It's easiest, man. It's easiest.
Okay, sure. So you're gonna be doing Arnold is Tommy, which is great.
Tommy was and then okay. So and what's your favorite one to do?
Well, actually, I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure I really like to do Little Nicky.
Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do is that we'll read the lines in the accents, and I'll read the narration.
Okay.
So
sounds perfect.
So we'll go ahead with your line as Sandy.
And action.
Rooftop set. Moments later, the crew is set up to film an outhouse, which will be double as the roof's entry point. The door opens as Johnny, walks out. It's not line.
Hold on. You went backwards.
Backwards.
Oh. Hey, bro. There's another and action with Sandy. It's the last line of the page.
Oh, sorry.
That's my fault.
The first and action. Because that's when the scene with them filming starts.
Look at us fucking it up like the movie. We're doing great already.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, here we go. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. And action.
The crew has set up to film an outhouse, which will double as the rooftop entry point. The door opens as Tommy, as Johnny, walks out. It's not. Line.
True. It's not true.
Tommy holds his hand up in apology, and then re-enters the outhouse.
Going again. And action.
Tommy comes out again. It's not true. Line. Sandy looks at Greg and then back to Tommy.
It's not true. I didn't hit her. It's bullshit. I did not.
Tommy nods and then goes back into the outhouse.
And action.
From the POV of the camera, we see Tommy come out. It's bullshit. I hit her. It's bullshit. Tommy keeps walking until, in fact, he's completely out of frame. Sandy can't believe it.
Damn it. Cut. Tommy, you're Mark.
He's Mark.
No,
He's Mark.
you're Mark. Where you need to stand to be in the shot.
Tommy realizes his mistake, goes back in. Sandy exhales. Tommy comes back out, staring at his feet. It's not true.
Look up.
Tommy can't look up and talk at the same time. Cut to interior rooftop set. Johnny, I did not hit her. Line. No one watching can believe this.
He wrote this, right? Just checking.
Day 6. I did not. This time, Tommy smacks his head on the frame of the door. Oh, my God. Cut to, the slate says take 32. Johnny, day 9. It's not true. I did not hit her. It's bullshit. I did not. Pete, still looking down. Oh, hi, Mark. Sandy looks towards up at Raphael.
And cut. I get it now. This is huge money laundering scheme.
Oh, man.
And my brother hit me in the face with a shovel.
What's funny is how much they improvise during this movie and how it doesn't match up with the script, how it goes down, because they end up showing like the entire crew saying the line, "It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her.
I did not.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark." No, on your mark.
He's Mark.
He's Mark. Oh, man. That just reminds, so when I first watched that movie, I actually didn't watch that movie until maybe it was last spring of 18, March of 18. I remember because I got sick. I got the flu or something, and I was just like, oh. And I remember she wanted to watch it, and I'm like, we cannot watch The Disaster Artist until we watch The Room. Because I've seen enough of The Room.
Yeah.
In other videos and stuff, I've pretty much seen the Nostalgia Critics complete breakdown of the movie, which is like a 40-minute. So it's mostly the movie. It's like I understood what happens, and I've seen a lot of scenes from it, but I've never seen it from beginning to end. I'm like, we need to watch that to just appreciate the comedy that will be The Disaster Artist.
Hell yeah!
Because I feel like you can enjoy it and you'll laugh, but if you've actually seen the movie, then when they go to recreate a lot of the things from that movie, it resonates so much more.
It falls into place too. You feel like you're like, oh yes, this is awesome. They got that right. They did this set exactly that way. You know, you can actually feel the vibe of what was happening behind the scenes there.
Yeah. It's also so funny that like Seth Rogen's not a big part of the movie. So Seth plays Sandy, and it's like, you know, they show him in the trailers like, oh, Seth Rogen's in this, but he really doesn't have a major role in it. Like he's there, but like he's not a main character.
Damn, I got a tickle in my throat. Kill me dead, bro.
Oh. It is it's about getting that time though. It's about 10 o'clock. I need to get heading off to bed.
Yes, sir.
And that way I can get some sleeps for as Wyatt says, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I love that.
He says tomorrow, but we still say tomorrow because it's so freaking cute.
Totally.
Oh man.
Do you know they brought back Kids Say the Darndest Things?
Did they?
Yeah, obviously a different host.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you see, the kids
Get the pudding and the get the with the flipper and the pudding.
when you get, I like my kids, especially when they're filled with the pudding. Why is everybody past that? You know, when you think about it, Murderface is almost like a little bit of Bill Cosby in there.
Yeah, with less slurring.
Yeah, with the less of the slurling and the less of the the bops and the gooks and the whoo.
Oh, fuck. Damn it, brother.
Oh man, I've never really played around with doing too much Bill Cosby.
He would play around with you. You wouldn't know it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So we to close this out, I just saw a meme on the Facebook here, and it brings us back to Christopher Nolan. I said all of his movies are pretty much awesome.
Sure.
And it's a scene from Interstellar. It says, when you're clothes shopping with your girlfriend, 1 hour here is 7 years on Earth.
Yes. Dude, I loved that scene in that movie. And also, just to triple side note, and I'm sure I've probably brought this up millions of times, but the interstellar Martian theory is so true. Have you've seen The Martian?
With the whole freaking Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm. Because Mark Watney is trapped on Mars for as long as he is. He learns how to have vegetation on a planet that isn't inhabitable. And then essentially in Interstellar, he is on a planet where he's the only living surviving person where it's possibly inhabitable. And he lies and tells him to come back to get him when really he didn't have a sustainable planet. And it's because he's been driven mad because he's been lost on these fucking planets for so goddamn long. Poor Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Damon.
Oh, shit. Oh, bro. Well, you want to take us home? I think we're all set, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for checking out this really weird and wacky episode of the OGs. We just sat back and we just riffed it, and we talked about some of our favorite things and had some good laughs. It's been a good time here on the show. Of course, you could check out the Journey to Comics Network on all podcast services. Just search us, dude. Search Journey to Comics Network. We show up. If we're not on your favorite one, reach out to us on our socials and let us know, because we're pretty much everywhere that you can be. Of course, you can while you're out there on the socials, check out all the other great shows that we have to offer as well. A lot of those shows have social media of their own, so go follow them and keep up with all your favorite shows and hosts. And you can also check out the Game Addicts podcast, the video game podcast that I do.
Do it.
With that. Yeah, that podcast is pretty much everywhere as well. If we're not there, if you're like, you're not on this app that I use that's really obscure and I really like it, I'll try to make it happen. I'll try to put the podcast on there just for you.
Hell yeah.
I want that. I want our shit to be everywhere we can do it. We stream live each and every single week that we record. So check us out on twitch.tv/GameAddictsPlay, as well as Facebook and YouTube. We're over there as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you get our one-stop shop for all your Game Addict stuff, where we get gameplay and podcasting. It's all on one channel. Subscribe over there. Help us grow the channel. With that being said, I don't know if I got anything else, Nate.
Bro, same. Did you guys see that? He's the most professional plugger of all pluggers. That sounds a little dirtier than I meant it to.
Dude, it is hilarious because whenever like when I would guest over on Podcastrophe or when I was on like Game of Thrones and like he would shoot it over me to do like my plugs, like him and Nick Maxim would just look at me like, holy shit, you've got this shit together.
You've said it
It's
enough,
like,
bro. Repetition.
Well, when you get it, dude, it is literally, start the show and end like you've got it, nail it, man. It's like, find out how you want to say it, and you don't have to say it 100%, but get a good roll on. You do it, man.
Hell yeah.
Because if you're just sitting there going, hey, yeah, go check us out on the stuff, yeah, do that.
Hey, yo, Mr. White.
Hey, yo, Mr. White, you guys listen to that podcast? Yeah, when we're making, when we're cooking,
Damn it, Jesse, keep
yeah.
it down. You're talking too loud.
Well, I guess you wouldn't like the podcast. That's all I do on the ones I listen to is talk loud.
I told you to expand our territory.
Yeah, man. It's all repetition, man. And when you've done the 350, almost 400 podcasts, whatever it is for me, you kind of get a sense, especially when you're doing the hosting part of it. Because if you're just hanging out, like being the co-host, doing whatever, that's a different story. But when you're the guy that's got to do it, man, you got to get it done.
When you're the guy in the chair, you can't be square. You got to get it right.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the OGs. I am one half of your OGs, Nate.
Ooh, yeah, and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. Yeah, the one and only Macho Man, Brando Savage, yeah!
Oh my God, he killed Brando Savage. That was amazing. Absolutely love that, you guys. Yeah, it was a absolutely great effort at doing a macho Brando. I don't remember how you said that.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. This has been the OGs. Deuces.